What's up, Cougs? I'm your host of Unorthodox Sports here on KUGR. DJ Squabo, call me Squabo. I'm so excited about today's show because we have a whole bunch of different topics, different sports, different leagues, men, women's sports to cover. So many exciting things to get into. So be sure to hit that subscribe button on our channel on YouTube at KUGR Radio on YouTube. And if you're listening live on the radio, go ahead and check us out on the YouTube channel at KUGR Radio. All right, so first of all, allow me to introduce the cast that I will be doing the show today with, and it is going to be two familiar faces for those of you who are familiar with the show. On my left shoulder, Mr. Asher Lind himself. Asher, great to have you on.
Great to be here as always. We were talking for the show. I'm pretty hyped about this episode. This one's going to be good. Buckle up, everyone. This is going to be good.
We do have some funny concepts to get into. Aaron, on my right shoulder, the backwards hat, the swag. He's got the button up that he just got in the mail, feeling himself, looking good, looking sharp.
Bit, yeah. Thanks,
Aaron,
bro. It's good to be here.
And his feels.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be here. It's gonna be another good show. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I appreciate it. It is a nice looking shirt, right? I mean, I think it's I like it. I'm a fan.
A handsome button up it is.
I would cop it. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. Shout out to my pops.
All right. So, gentlemen, first and foremost, we got to get the news out of the way. The bad news that happened as of this morning: Tiger Woods was in a car crash. He has 2 fractured bones and a shattered ankle, at least. He was the only person in the car crash. The police said that he wasn't under the influence of anything, or at least they don't think that he was at this point, and that he was the only person involved in the car crash. So, gentlemen, I would like to get your instant reactions to this horrible crisis that happened in Tiger Woods' life. Aaron, let's go to you.
Just the fact. I mean, thankfully nobody else was involved in this. It was only his car that was found rolled over. And I mean, I hope he wasn't being a distracted driver on his phone or anything like that. But I mean, I'm just glad that he's okay. It sucks that he's got to have. I mean, thankfully he got wrist surgery right away, so it shouldn't. Hopefully, it doesn't take too much of an effect on his golfing career. As I honestly think that he is the GOAT, and so heart goes out to him. Hopefully he gets better soon. They fix him up and he'll be able to get back out on the course soon.
Yeah. Breaking news coming in. This just in: Tiger Woods suffers compound leg fracture and shattered ankle in car. So it's a late report, but the same thing on different outlets. Asher, let's go to you. What is your reaction to this crisis?
I thought, because I saw some pictures of the car from a news helicopter, and it looked super mangled up. Because I know they had to use the jaws of life to get him out of the car. For those of you that don't know, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's the claws that they used to rip the door open when it's too mangled up. You can't open it normally, and so you have to use the jaws to just pry it off.
Some of the firemen use.
Yeah, exactly. And so firemen, first responders, super underrated people. Thank you so much for getting him out of there. Just heart goes out to him as well too. Just super sad. And you saw immediately when the news broke, the entire sports world reached out. You saw LeBron, all these huge names giving support to Tiger Woods because he deserves it too. Like Aaron said, he's the GOAT of golf. He kind of changed what golf looks like and how it's played right now. And when you think of golf, who's the first person that comes to mind? Tiger Woods. So he is going to have to get surgery done. Hopefully he's recovering right now. I don't know if he's still in it. I heard he was in it a few hours ago, but hopefully he can make a full recovery and get back to hitting eagles, holes in ones. Because he's just great. That's all he's known for, being great on the course.
Yeah, no question about it. Our hearts and prayers go out to the Woods family and everyone else that feels for this scenario, everyone else involved. So God bless you, and best of luck and wishes moving forward. Gentlemen, on a much, much brighter note, this past weekend was, without question, the greatest Wazoo men's basketball game I have ever witnessed.
All year.
I am so thrilled to talk about this game. A gentleman that shares my first name. You guys call me Squabble. That's my brand. That's my identity. But my real first name, the name I was born with, is Noah. as is Noah Williams, and Noah played 54 minutes in this triple OT thriller against Stanford, knocking them down from the Final Four in to the first four out. Noah Williams had 40 points for the first time since Klay Thompson. He carried Washington State, hitting clutch three after clutch three, and his performance was remarkable at the end of it, how exhausted he looked. Well, let's ask one of the people that was there firsthand. Aaron, what was your reaction?
So I had the pleasure of calling this game with KUGR over the weekend, and I've done a few basketball games this year, and this one, by far, this is the most hype I've ever gotten calling a basketball game, was seeing Noah Williams hit his all-time record of 40 points. And going into triple overtime, this is the first game I've ever called that went into triple overtime. I've called a couple games that went into single overtime, but triple overtime, I was just absolutely shocked. I got towards the end where we saw Deshaun Jackson foul out, and towards the end of the first overtime, I believe it was. And then what I think really sealed the deal was Oscar Da Silva, who was a top 10 draft pick, in my opinion, the senior for Stanford. He fouled out as well. And don't get me wrong, there's one of these guys' names, I forget it. He's number 5. The little guard. Michael O'Connell, thank you. That kid, he's a freshman. He can play. Wow, he's got some handles. He's got a great-looking shot. 52 minutes, too. He had also with 17 points, the highest scorer for Stanford. But having Oscar Da Silva foul out, I think, was key because he's such a force down in the post because he's like 6'10", a strong forward, and having F.A. Abagidi uncontested under the hoop for the second overtime, along with Noah Williams hitting his threes, it's unstoppable. Noah Williams was 8 for 18 from 3.
Well, and first of all, that stat is ridiculous. And of course, we got to get to Asher, who he's the sports guy here amongst all of us. But you talk about Oscar Da Silva, and he was in foul trouble the whole game. And then he had 2 points late in the second half, and then they put him back in the ball game. And down the stretch, they just go back to him and back to him and back to him, and he was the guy. Yeah. And then when he fouls out, Aaron, that was one of the big differences. They didn't score in the third overtime.
It was huge. Yeah.
And
exactly.
That was the reason. Asher, let's get your reaction.
That was my initial thought, because I was at the game too, watching from the bleachers, working for ESPN. They really didn't have anything for me to do other than watch Noah Williams just go off in back-to-back games. Shout out to Noah Williams. I interviewed him and Isaac a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and he told me he wanted people to know that WSU Hoops is back. What a great way to prove your point.
Lord,
and go off for back-to-back career highs. 32 against Cal, carried the team. 40-piece family meal against Stanford, career high. Dad has the school record of 43. He was going for it. He was a couple shots away from getting it. I thought he was gonna get it. They were down by 3 with a few seconds left. He just steps back, just knocks down the clutch shot to force overtime.
Oh my gosh, I have chills. I have chills just talking about this, dude.
He was cooking all week long. He got the Pac-12 Player of the Week. He got the ESPN Player of the Week. They wrote an article about him. He got the Naismith Player of the Week. If there's a Player of the Week award for men's hoops, it's Noah Williams.
Yeah.
For good 72 points in 2 games. Those are Klay Thompson numbers. No one's done that for WSU hoops in a long time. Robert Franks never did that. Malachi Flynn couldn't really do that. Put up those numbers in 2 games. Noah Williams is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we all knew that, but this week,
it's set in stone. The amount of power this guy has.
That's a good way to say it. Just set it in stone. Noah Williams is an absolute monster. The ESPN article said WSU is a year or 2 away from really being true contenders to make some postseason noise, but a budding star in Noah Williams is what we're seeing right now. I'm pretty sure those are the exact words to use. Noah Williams is a budding star, and these numbers go to back it up. His efficiency wasn't the best. 8 of 18 is decent numbers from 3. Yeah, he went 12 of 33 from the field. Not the most efficient night, but he made every bucket.
That's like Noah Williams. That's like Isaac Bonton's stat from the field, right? Bad percentage, but scores a lot.
Yeah.
So
not the most efficient.
He went 12 for 35 from the field. Yeah.
Okay. It was something close to that, but he made every big shot when it mattered the most, that 3 to 4 overtime. Like, absolute great game from Noah, don't get me wrong. But
phenomenal.
The efficiency is the only thing I can complain about, because watching him cook Stanford like that all game long was just fun. He makes it look so easy.
I know, I was thinking that. Yes.
Because he's used to playing the 2, being the shooting guard. He's not used to handling the ball a lot. But he looks so comfortable out there against a good Stanford team.
I know.
They're the first, because of that loss, Stanford's now the first team out of the tournament. And they were on the bubble trying to get their way in. And not having Oscar da Silva for an entire overtime period is what I think made the difference. Yeah. Because they had good defense on him, because he only finished with 11 points, but he made a couple big buckets in the first 2 overtime periods. So not having your captain out there for a whole overtime period is definitely what helped WSU run away with this one, because they ended up winning by 9, and it was just back and forth through the first 2 overtimes. And then Noah Williams just flipped the switch and started getting guys involved. The Abagidi slam underneath.
Oh my gosh, dude! Holy crap!
See, you were there. Bodman, fake in the corner, step back, 3, swish.
They were just on fire. It makes me so excited to get Bonton out of here so Noah Williams can start running the floor consistently. Like, good lord, it's just unbelievable. Like, I
want Bonton to come back.
Stop! No!
Dude, he missed his senior day. I need to see them run it back.
Okay, yeah, he missed his senior day. That's awful. It sucks for him. It does. I would like to see Brad back as well. How about he just comes back for the tournament?
Okay.
Then he goes away.
Okay.
Well,
that's I'm cool with.
The somehow Bonton's name always gets brought up when you're talking Aaron and Wazoo men's basketball. But in Noah Williams' defense, and you guys talk about the inefficiencies from the field, and Aaron, even though you're supporting Williams with these numbers, you don't support Bonton with the same numbers.
I like Noah,
as you said.
I like him more.
But
he's got more potential.
So here's what I did see about this game. Noah Williams started off pretty efficiently. Like, when he had his first 30, they were pretty efficient 30. But
that was an efficient 30. I'll give you that. And then the misses started to pour on after that. He was getting tired. Like, 54 minutes is a lot of time on the court. Yeah. And so I'm not surprised by anything. It's not a bad game by any means. Career high 40 points. There's not a lot you can complain about that. But playing 54 minutes of basketball is not an easy thing. Like, even for me, like, I played
he only missed
yesterday. I'm gassed after like 2 games. So
he only missed 1 minute of the entire game, including all 3 overtimes. So
yeah. So credit to him for going. Another thing too, like playing a complete game of basketball. Noah played like 2 complete games into one, essentially. Like I was at the rec the other day playing 3-on-3. Like, I'm gassed after 2 games. Like, I'm so out of shape. Like, I hate to admit that, but it's not great. So Noah Williams being able to play 54 is just absolutely absurd to me. So it is unfortunate, though, because people do get tired after a little bit, and your shot's not the same either when you're tired versus like when you're coming in the first quarter, because he didn't rest at all. Like you said, he only missed 1 minute. Like, he was always out there, and that's something I like to see, honestly, because with Bonton absent, someone has to take the leadership role from Bonton, and that guy was Noah Williams this week, and it's going to be Noah Williams moving forward.
Well, and not only the inefficiency, like, it's understandable, but he's the ball handler too. He's the guy carrying the ball 90 feet up the floor. Like,
he's running the offense.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is,
and
especially for a sophomore too.
It's great to see him doing it. You understand where he gets tired later on in the game. He definitely was gassed, and that's when Rodman stepped up and hit a big shot too. And so we had other guys making plays. Abagidi with the slam, as you guys mentioned. The difference in the game for me came down to, first of all, free throws. 78% for Wazoo versus 50% for Stanford.
True. Yeah.
And for rehab, it's a thing. It works.
Thanks, Coach.
The other thing that made this a really big difference, not only the total rebounds, 48 to 36 Wazoo, but offensive rebounds, 18 to 2.
Yeah,
18 to 2. That's a 16
difference. FA had 6,
and that explains where all our extra shot attempts came from, because we shot 75 to 58. So that's where that came from. Sorry.
Something else I love about like what we've been doing lately is putting Jazz Kuntz on the floor more. Like he didn't play a whole lot the early season. I'm sure that if that was something you're about to talk about, then you go right ahead. I'll be quick. But 4 offensive boards, and how many points did he have here? I'm looking. 11 points, and with 4 offensive boards. He's a stud.
Coach Smith in a press conference said Jazz might be our MVP as of late. Like he's playing. He's
awesome. He's so physical, and like him going up for rebounds and getting slammed into the ground too. Like the dude takes a hit, gets off the court for a minute, gets his breath back, and he's back out there like nothing happened. I have a massive amount of respect for Jazz Coons because he's over the past year that I've been here at Wazoo, he's gotten exponentially better since him being a sophomore. But sorry, Noah, continue.
No, totally agree with that.
Did you guys? Well, and wasn't it when Jackson fouled out? Wasn't it Kuntz that came in the game, and it was time for a big defensive stop, and he was a part of that. And
that was at the end of second overtime. He got a defensive tip and he prevented them from getting a shot up. That was a huge play. Yeah,
right.
For sure. One more thing I want to mention too: the GIF of Kyle Smith. Oh my God, best thing. One of the best things I've seen on Twitter. You guys know what I'm talking about.
I think I've seen that.
I do not complain about officiating a lot because it's totally cliche and it's like beating a dead horse. But man, that was rough to watch.
It was horrible.
Because for those of you at home who don't know, it was Stanford inbounding underneath their hoop. The ref that handed him the ball, who was right there counting, calls a 5-second violation, and Coach Smith thinks, okay, we have the ball. We can get a shot to try to win the game. Other ref, not even in the front court, was in front of Stanford's bench, said, oh, wait, by the way, Stanford called a timeout. And then Coach Smith just comes unglued and lost his mind. And I would have done the exact same thing, like totally acceptable reaction. I'm surprised he didn't get teed up based on how the officiating was that night, but I'm glad he didn't because we were able to come away and win the game. Ball don't lie, just putting it out there, but man, that gift was so good. So funny.
Okay, and we hate to point the finger to officiating, but Wazoo has never been known to get the calls. Okay?
No, they never have because Pac-12 refs are garbage.
And in this game, too.
Here we go.
Just following along the trend, I'm sorry, but let the salts reign. I had some problems with the officiating in this game.
This is your first year here. Welcome to Wazoo Sports. I'm just like right now. That's how
Oscar De Silva.
Get used to it.
Oscar De Silva, towards the end of the game, right, when they put him back in and it's crunch time and he's balling, how did he get going? He got going from the free throw line and he was missing, but he had so many opportunities.
His free throws were garbage, too. I was shocked.
To win the game.
To win the game, the man went 3 for 6. He shot 50% from a line. Awful. Just horrible. It was so funny.
Hey, just like the rest of the team.
There's some pretty bad calls about the game. He should have been called for a charge there late, too. I think it was in the regulation overtime. You know what I'm talking about.
I know. His feet were clearly planted. His feet were clearly planted. I remember that. And he lowered his shoulder and everything. When every time I've seen this guy's lower the shoulder, when the charge fouls go, it's always you see him lowering their shoulder and bodying into the guy, and the same thing happened, but no, they called it a block. So I'm confused. I was confused, and I still to this day I'm confused.
Yeah, and like Swallow said, it's super easy to point the finger at officiating and blame it.
I will.
And I'm not saying I'm not doing that because it was pretty bad, but also ball don't lie. But when your fan base and everyone around you consistently goes on social media and is commenting about the exact same thing, that's not by accident.
No, it's not. I mean? It's all something needs to change.
The block.
All the 50-50 calls were given to Stanford. It seems. I don't know. That's just from the outside looking in.
Crazy how that works, dude.
Do you guys see the block?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the block, Deshaun Jackson blocked De Silva again, and they gave him another call. That block was clean. The ball was going the other way. Jackson was hyped. Jackson was screaming after that play.
Yeah,
that's not even the worst. That's not even the worst call of the game. Do you remember the technical on Abagidi?
Oh, my Lord.
He was yelling at his teammate to get a rebound, and he got steep for it. And then after that, the referee, it was, what's his name, Padilla. I don't remember his first name. He came into the huddle and said, oh, yeah, my bad, but I called the technical, and the rule is they get the free throws because I called it. That's absolute baloney for keep it PG. I cannot stand that.
For a game that went triple OT.
Because he's not wearing a mask. You should be able to read his lips and see his body language and who he's talking to see he's talking to Rodman to grab the rebound because he sent it towards down the baseline where Rodman was so he could go grab it. He's yelling and go get the rebound. And either way, it was a soft tee in my opinion. But hey, we won the game. We won the game, right? We're fine. It's fine.
And then Smith gets away with it. Watching Smith on the sideline, that is what Wazoo is all about. Blue collar, just
it is. You're right. It really is, dude. It's
yelling,
awesome.
just being
Coach
involved.
Smith is not afraid to stand up for his guys, and I
know
love that.
exactly.
He's a perfect fit.
Coach Smith is one of the best things that happened to Wazoo in a long time.
The Palouse.
All
right, gentlemen, it's time to get into.
Let's hop off the soapbox here.
It's time to get into some March Madness. Top 25 right now: Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, Ohio State, Illinois, Alabama, Oklahoma, Villanova, Iowa, and West Virginia. I am not the March Madness expert here. That title does belong to our very own Asher Lind. So, Asher, walk us through it.
I wouldn't call myself an expert, first of all, but I appreciate the thought. So to all of those at home keeping track, everyone knows Gonzaga, best team in the country right now, undefeated. Iowa, a second seed.
I would argue that they're the best. I would
argue they're the best. But
why? Have you seen their schedule?
They're undefeated.
It's like they're playing high school teams, bro.
hey, West Coast Conference is not the strongest conference, I admit, but they played Iowa this year, and they ran them out of the gym. And Iowa's projected to be a second seed. I can't see anyone.
You're okay. Fair enough. This is fair.
They beat Virginia as well. Their schedule has not been the hardest either, but they have some good.
You're right. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Continue.
They're able to run Iowa and Virginia out of the gym, and if those teams can't hang with them, I can't see anyone hang with them. Coach Few, all the experience, great coach. Drew Timme, the stash, the handlebar. No one can top that. Corey Kispert's lights out. Julie Ai is playing just really great. They're just so deep and talented on paper. I just can't see anyone hanging with them.
Right. The thing is, Asher, in March, anything can change. Anything can happen.
I definitely agree.
Right.
Because we were talking about this earlier. UMBC, another 16 seed projected as of right now, projected to play Michigan as the one. They did beat Virginia a couple years ago. And I immediately went to follow their social media account afterwards on Twitter because they were hilarious.
It was great,
after they were able to beat
Virginia.
But I do agree, anything can happen. But from what I've seen, the eye test is telling me that no one's beating Gonzaga this year.
Okay.
I think
I'll put Gonzaga in the Final Four.
At least they're front. If they get to the Final Four, I would be astonished if they miss, because the only real team I think they have to get in their way is Iowa, and they've already beaten Iowa this year. So I see them getting through their region without a problem. So
okay.
They were supposed to play Baylor early in the year, but
Baylor's number 2 right now, bro. They're 17-0.
Baylor's also looking really good today, and that would have been an absolute great matchup. But I think COVID and other stuff like that kind of prevented that matchup from happening. Yeah. But
I think if anybody's going to give Gonzaga a run for their money, it's going to be Baylor.
Yeah, I think Baylor. Michigan is looking really good too. Jawan Howard has come in and really turned things around for Michigan. I really like him as a coach. Ohio State's really good this year. They're projected to be a 1 seed.
I know, it's crazy.
That was kind of the shock to me because no one's really been talking about Ohio State hoops.
They're sleepers, dude. They're a sleeper organization for basketball. It's crazy.
Yeah, like ever since they had D'Angelo Russell playing for them, it seems like they've been kind of quiet. They haven't been making as much noise, but I think that's kind of COVID. What it's done. It's made bad teams good, and it's made good teams bad. I was talking with someone about this, like WSU women's hoops too. It's made them a good team. You see on the men's side, Duke, UNC, Kentucky.
Duke's not even projected to be in the March Madness off the CBS right now, and North Carolina's in the first 4.
You would have never guessed that.
You would never put North Carolina in the first 4.
Duke and March.
That never happens.
Yeah, Duke and March go together like. I don't know. Like, give me an analogy here. Like
Red Bull and vodka.
Okay.
Sure.
Peanut butter and jelly.
For our adult audience back there.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Exactly.
Aaron's shirt and Aaron's hair.
Aaron's hair, exactly. Aaron and March. But Duke and March just go together. Like, you would have never thought Duke misses out on a tournament, but that's just how COVID has affected these teams. Like Kentucky, UNC too, they're projected to get in, but as lower seeds than usual. They still have the great coaching experience in Roy Williams and Coach Cal, like all-time great coaches. But that's just what COVID's done. It's just totally fractured everyone's schedules. Like there's a point that they were all unranked in the AP Top 25, and that's
never happened.
Never happened ever. They're just consistently dominant programs. And that's just how COVID is. It's let some good teams like really shine. And Gonzaga was a fringe team before the season, but now they've just shot into the number one ranking, over like number one overall. And so because of that, they're projected to go all the way, in my opinion. And I think they will. I have Gonzaga as my number one. Are we doing Cinderella teams right now?
Yeah. So that's bracket favorite. So Gonzaga clearly the favorite. I'm just going on a limb. Gonzaga has something going against them. Gonzaga has a poor track record at times, and that's why I'm just gonna go out there and say, and this isn't very controversial because they did have a game scheduled earlier in the season, but I'm just taking Baylor over Gonzaga. I'm saying Baylor makes it further than Gonzaga today.
Well, to be fair, them getting farther would be Baylor getting the championship because they're both projected to go to the Final Four. So, if that's
if they both make it that far though, like
Gonzaga, I see. Oh, they're supposed to outlast Gonzaga.
Just each other. One versus another, because I could see neither of them making it with how March Madness goes sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of teams that they have to go through. So, I would just say right now, Baylor goes farther than Gonzaga. I'm not going to put nothing on it. I'm just, for right now, I'm saying that. And then Cinderella, Asher, what are your thoughts?
First of all, honorable mention, Eastern Washington is playing phenomenal basketball right now. A lot of people following them are saying they could upset someone. They're projected to play Oklahoma. And I just wanted to put it out there. I don't think it'll happen, but Eastern Washington versus Gonzaga, Cheney versus Spokane would be the best story of all time.
It would be.
In March Madness. That would be a phenomenal story for everyone, like for generations to come. And I don't think that'll happen, but that would be really cool to have Eastern and Gonzaga go at it. I don't know. This isn't much of a Cinderella, but they're a lower ranking than I would have thought. I have Oklahoma State as one of my Cinderella, because they have one of the best point guards in the country in Cade Cunningham. He's 6'8", he's got handles, he can stretch the floor. I really like Oklahoma State. I've watched them play this season. Cade Cunningham is a projected like lottery pick. I'm pretty sure. Like he checks all the boxes for NBA draft, and I think they could make some noise too. And they're currently a 6 seed, which might be a little high for a quote unquote Cinderella.
And they'll probably be lower because they're not even in the top 25 right now. So they might get put down a little bit lower than that.
And they could definitely drop, and that's a good thing too. So that's my Cinderella, who I have we're in the toss up right now. I'm all in on Cade Cunningham right now.
Yeah. In all honesty, my Cinderella, like even though they're actually the same rank as Asher's, I had USC as my quote unquote Cinderella, just because if you think about it, the Pac-12 does not go to March Madness very frequently. Right, it's not
beat up on each other in every sport ever.
Exactly. I mean, you don't. It's unfortunate, but it's just that's how it goes. I mean, I'm looking at like the name. Hold on, I clicked on the wrong. That's the football, but I'm looking at.
Click on it. Mobley. Yeah, that's one of the only names you need to know.
Exactly.
I watched him play. I watched him just totally work WSU in person. I could see why there's a bunch of hype around him. He's essentially Kevin Durant without the 3-point shot. He's the exact same height, size, build. He just didn't really shoot that well against WSU, but he can put it on the floor. He can put his head down. He can just yam it over you at any given point. Like there's a lot of hype around him, and I can see it. Mobley is a stud, and he's only a freshman. He's only a freshman too.
He's better than his older brother. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a team leader in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks.
As a freshman.
That is impressive. Is very impressive. Speaking of people that are like that's a perfect transition to my sleeper, my Cinderella I like in the bracket. I look down the teams, and you guys aren't getting juicy enough for me. I thought Aaron was Mr. Bold Prediction guy, Mr. Crazy Upset.
USC is a bold prediction.
Give you.
It's about to get bold.
Sorry, my goodness. Excuse me. Go ahead, please.
Okay. USC is pretty bold. Never mind. Let me just taper your expectations.
Back it up.
Okay, but I'll give you respect for USC. I like Loyola, and I like Loyola Chicago because This is a team that has upset teams in the past, and you were talking about guys that lead their entire team in a whole bunch of stat categories. Cameron Krutwig, if he had 0.3 more steals per game.
Who are we talking about?
Cameron Krutwig.
This man is losing it. He's coming unglued right now.
15 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.3, or he has 1 steal per game and 1 block per game. So he's all over the field, and he's their center.
love a good center. I'm not gonna. And he also leads his team in four categories.
Cinderella stories are made when nobody expects them.
Krutwig MVP of March Madness. Is that what you say right now?
Krutwig
How do you say
MVP. Cameron Krutwig.
Krutwig. Okay.
I'll remember the name. Loyal is always a fun team to watch.
The Ramblers. All right, pal. I'll send him to the Sweet 16. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Krutwig and the Ramblers.
Ramblers.
All right, gentlemen. So Asher, let's go to you for a Wazoo sports update. Wazoo women's basketball, and then some Wazoo volleyball.
Women's basketball just playing phenomenal. They're able to beat Utah. At one point, I'm trying to remember. This might have been a different game, but I gotta call it. I'll come back to that point at a later time when I remember. But Charlize just phenomenal again. Utah, and they played Utah this last couple of days and able to beat Utah by 13. Both teams came in with 4-game losing streaks. It was WSU's worst of the year. Utah's on a down year for the women, but Charlize just again, like no one's surprised by this. Just absolutely torched Utah. Tedder looked really good too. It was just an all-around complete team effort in the win. And right now, they are projected to play Georgia Tech. They're the first 4 in for March Madness, and that was a really big win against Utah. And if they can finish with an Apple Cup win against the Huskies, I believe you two are calling that. That should be a good one to call. I think that should lock them in because they're one of the first 4 teams in right now, mostly because of Charlize and all the things that she's been able to do.
Okay.
Still projected to lead the Pac-12 in scoring. No freshman's ever done that. She leads the team in steals. At least she leads the Pac-12 in steals as well. It might be Erin McDonald because she's always been dominant. But again, WSU women's hoops, one of the best positions they've been in a really long time.
Asher, real quick, Asher. I hate to interrupt, but I have to contradict something that I said earlier. Potentially.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
No. It's not over yet. It's not over. Okay. It's just getting close, right? So just a quick update for our radio audience. You might be getting this a little bit late, but our YouTube audience that's watching live right now at KUGR Radio on YouTube, which is why you should watch us live on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. on KUGR's radio or station on YouTube. The number 2 Baylor Bears are fighting to keep undefeated record alive. They trail Iowa State 61-58.
My goodness.
With 7:30 left, and they are my pick to advance farther than Gonzaga. So we will see how long that holds up. I have Baylor winning this game. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update because we were just talking about these guys. But Asher, back to you.
I appreciate the honesty. So I have a couple teams that I want to touch on. The soccer team, great start for them. 3-0 on the year. I went to their practice this morning. Got to watch them warm up in the bubble. It's a super weird environment. It's not like an actual building. It's like a inflatable. I don't even know what to call it. They put air in the thing and it goes up all around. It's super cool. Weird. Yeah. The lighting is really weird because I tried to get video and the lights kept messing me up. But it was really cool to see them back, and hopefully people can come watch them play soon. It's not official or anything, but according to a source that I will leave disclosed for now, they're trying to get back onto lower soccer field later in the year, but they need to wait. They need to wait for the snow to melt. They need to wait for the pitch to get to playing condition, because if they tore it up now, it would just totally wreck it, and they wouldn't be able to play on it. A lot of sprained ankles would probably happen because of that. So we just need to wait, and hopefully, we're hopeful. I'm hopeful as well that we can get some people into lower soccer field, and that would be awesome too, because we could be announcing it for KUGR. Fans could come in hopefully, because fans are going in Beasley. now, which is really great to see as well. So I feel like they can make that happen. But yeah, they're 3-0 on the year. In the 3 games, they're winning the total. They're outscoring opponents 9-2. Their offense is just great. Schulenberger trying to make another College Cup run. One of their best teams ever last year, fell just a little short. They got to the Final Four in soccer, and that's something we do not see in a lot of WSU sports. Mm-hmm. Morgan Weaver just carried the team last year, and it was great to see her. But Makai Minnis just won Defensive Player of the Week for them. She had a really great week.
She's a stud.
Absolute stud. Really, really great on the pitch. She will go pro, I think, for sure. They're going to play a couple games against Utah this coming weekend, but things are looking really good for soccer, just about as good a start as you could ask. Speaking of good starts, the baseball team. We've finally been able to see all the hype about this baseball team. 4 games against UC Davis. They go 3-1. A few of their wins, 12-5, 11-1. The fewest runs they scored in a game this weekend was 5 runs. Those bats swing. Those bats swing. And let me tell you, holy cow, their offense is clicking. They were really great on the mound. Their defense was great. They did give up the last game of the series, and they allowed double-digit runs. But overall, just about as great a start as you could ask. And this was one of the most hyped-up baseball teams we've seen from WSU in a really long time. So to see them go out and start 3-1 on the year is really great to see. They don't play in Pullman until April 1st, which feels like a big April Fool's joke. Because to start that many games on the road is just unheard of. But again, COVID just totally messed up schedules and everything like that. But for them to go out and play a good team and go 3-1 against a good team, like I said, is really good to see. 5 is the fewest runs they scored in any of the 4 games. Absolutely crazy. Their offense and those bats are really good. They're going to be really fun to watch this year. WSU loves their baseball. I know a few people. Chappie, one of our pro advisors, huge baseball guy. I've been talking with him about this baseball team. This is one of the best teams we've had in a long time, and this weekend is starting to show that.
Yeah, freaking thanks Asher for the sports update.
Hey, might have been a little lengthy and stumbly, but we're good. This is the part that I'm looking forward to. We were talking about this earlier. I am excited for this one.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and let's skip ahead to the NBA players
ring chasing
that need a ring. And what we have presented, or we have a presentation for you guys, because we were talking about this before the show, and we were talking about topics potentially. We were like, topics, what about NBA players that we think should have a ring? And me and Asher and I were on the same page instantly. We didn't say a name out loud, but we told each other, like, we're pretty sure we at least know one of the players that the other person is.
We read each other's mind, and I feel like we should have at least one similar player here. We
have still not told each other what names are on our mind. Mm-hmm. There was only one name spoken between the trio of us, and that was when Aaron said he thinks he's got a little bit of a different opinion, and
he thinks he can crack the code.
I didn't even say my name. Asher just guessed it right. For the record.
I did.
Who said I guessed it right? I didn't say anything. I said.
Oh, Noah said it. Noah said it.
You said the name. You said the name, and I said okay. Like
no. Oh, I said. I thought it was Asher that guessed it, but Noah, of course, yeah. Squabo guessed who I think deserves a.
We got some more Mountain Dew on the line. It seems like Mountain Dew is just getting bought every week.
Can they sponsor us, please? Like I'm just.
Honestly,
not a sponsor.
Like the amount of Diet
Mountain Dew. Can you sponsor us, please?
All right, so essentially, we already know what player Aaron wanted originally, because he's such a Luka guy.
What's wrong with being a Luka guy?
No, Luka's a great guy,
but there are a few people in the league, and we'll talk that I think need a ring before Luka Doncic. And let's just get into it. Here, because you were talking about you had an honorable mention, right, Aaron?
I have an honorable mention for both of you guys.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay, well, so the bet was Asher told Aaron if he can guess both players correctly, he'll buy you some Dew. I'll make that bet even. But how about this, Aaron? If you get neither of our players correct, you got to buy it for us. How about that?
Okay, deal. And do my honorable mentions count or no?
No, you got to make them final. Got to make them final.
Okay. Nah, you're too good at 4 shots.
Well, okay, we'll start with Asher. Okay, is that all right?
Yeah.
I won't say if it's right or wrong until I go with Squabo, but I will acknowledge your honorable mention.
Okay, so I'll do both your honorable mentions first, and then I'll do my actual guesses. So my honorable mention for Asher is Porzingis. Is Kristaps. That's my honorable mention for Asher.
Okay.
I don't think he does. I mean, he's been in the league for not a super long time compared to these other players I'm about to guess, but I think Asher's honorable mention in my book would be Kristaps Porzingis.
Okay.
Squabo, I'm a little disappointed at my honorable mention for you, just because.
Really?
Yeah, well, my honorable mention for you is Boogie.
Okay.
I knew you wouldn't put him in there, but that's just.
All right, final guesses. Let's get to it.
Okay, no, Squabo, anything to say before I
Okay,
go?
so essentially a 6-pack of Diet Mountain Dew. If you can guess both of mine correctly, and I have both of mine written down, Asher has both of his written down. If you can guess both of these names perfectly, and I almost guarantee you mine and Asher's are different. And then you'll say both of your names, and then on the count of 3, we'll both say our first name and then our second name. Okay?
So the thing is, I have one similar name between the two of you.
That's good.
The one name that's identical. So for Asher,
right.
my final names for you.
Okay.
Kemba Walker and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
And Squabo, my final names for you are Giannis Antetokounmpo and Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
I think that my last one's pretty wrong, if I'm being completely honest with you. I probably should have gone with somebody on the Heat.
Okay.
The more I think about it. But
well, Asher, okay, on the count of... Aaron, can you count us down from 3? And then at the count of 3, Asher, can we say the one that we have in common that he was wrong about?
Yeah.
Dang it. Oh, man, I'm not full
Aaron, can you count us down, please?
2, 1.
Chris Paul.
Carmelo Anthony.
Oh!
Yeah, okay, that's my second one. That's my second one. Chris Paul I put on here. But I would rather see Melo get a ring. Chris Paul, we have in common. I respect that.
That is funny. We both said Chris. Aaron's so wrong.
Let's get
Aaron is so wrong.
Hey,
look at Aaron.
I didn't think about the bet.
Aaron,
I didn't really
text when I leave for your apartment.
I didn't really think about the veterans. I don't know why I didn't go. I feel
the whole
dumb.
point. Donovan Mitchell and Giannis. What?
Those are good, but they're like Melo and Chris Paul have been in the league for years, and I
don't like Melo.
I said Chris Paul and Damian Lillard.
Okay, Dame's a good one, but I said Melo because he's top 15 in scoring. He was on the Knicks for too long. He wasted.
I can't believe you don't have a Celtic on your list, bro.
No, that's fair. I thought he was gonna say Chris Paul and Kemba.
Yeah, I thought for sure Kemba was gonna be on.
Okay, Kemba is a good guess. I'll give you that. But Melo's done more than.
I don't like Melo.
Respect for Melo, but he's not the first person that came to mind. I like that idea a lot. I do. That's really sweet of you. I just thought it was funny. Like we both said CP3, and then we both had a different player in Portland.
Yeah. Chris Paul's a given. Like it's impossible not to root for Chris Paul.
I thought, to be completely honest with you, I thought he already had one.
So Aaron, best friend of the year award goes to you for knowing us inside and out. Aaron, I need your instant reaction to just like that.
Do you need more than what you're looking at?
No. I need vocal for our radio audience.
I feel stupid because I legitimately thought for some reason CP3 had a ring.
Okay.
I just did look into that more, and I was like, and you know what's sad is that name came to my mind while I was doing my research. Like, oh no, he already has one.
Really?
Yeah. You would think so because
I should have I double checked every single name, made sure they didn't have one, except for his.
Well, and what my biggest problem with the whole CP3 thing, he was getting traded from New Orleans to the Lakers. Trade gets vetoed by the NBA because it's going to make him too OP. And instead he goes to the Clippers, where he is drowned out and forgotten before going to Houston.
Lob City was great to watch, though. Respect to Lob.
Exactly. Houston,
Griffin, DeAndre. That was that's my favorite call of all time. from Ralph Lawler. The lob, the jam, where DeAndre Jordan just throws it down over Brandon Knight. Oh my gosh, so good.
But yeah, no. Chris Paul's just one of those guys that I've always rooted for, and I've always wanted to see him be successful, and I
He's
wanted
just
him
impossible to root
to my
against.
Lakers.
Like, he's just a good guy. He's the active assist. He's the active assist leader. He's not going to catch John Stockton, but he just does so much no matter where he goes. Like with Oklahoma City last year, that was supposed to be a real rebuilding year, and then they end up going further than anyone would have thought. Like he just knows how to build a culture, and he does that everywhere he goes. Like look at Phoenix this year. Like they went 8-0 in the bubble, but look how much better they're playing with Chris Paul. They're 20-10. Like they're one of the top 5 teams in the West right now. Like as far as playing goes. Like, he's just come in and totally changed it around. Also, speaking of Phoenix, Devin Booker got snubbed from the All-Star game. I'm putting it out there.
No, that's exactly the next topic that I was gonna bring up.
Goodness, we need to bring that up. Holy cow, he got snubbed hard.
NBA All-Star snub. So first of all, the starting lineups in the East: Irving, Beal, Durant, Giannis, Embiid. West: Curry, Kawhi, LeBron, Jokic, and controversially Luka. Now, how it's broken down?
Controversially?
Yes,
Dude's an MVP.
Damian Lillard, he's not the MVP this year. Oh my goodness.
He's an MVP on if we're talking East and West. Yes.
No,
we're talking about Dame?
There are at least there are 3. Dame is more of an MVP candidate. Jokic and LeBron are all better MVP candidates right now than Luka.
LeBron.
Just because I brought up LeBron, he's instantly just out.
Hey, it happens.
All right. But look, all right, so, and then Western Conference starters, Curry, Luka, Kawhi, LeBron, Jokic. How it works, how they decide who the starters are, 50% of the vote is given to the fans, 25 to former players, and 25 to a panel of experts. Or 25 to the current players, and 25 to a panel of experts that includes former players. So 50% fans, 25 and 25. What happened was Luka got the 50% that were the fans, and the current players and the former experts, or former players that are and experts, both said Damian deserves a spot. But fans get the tiebreaker. So Luka got into the starting lineup just because of that. But all of his peers and all of the experts say Damian Lillard, rightfully so, as he crawls his way into the MVP conversation. So Lillard is coming off the bench, George off the bench, Harden and Levine, but Booker was snubbed. So Asher, I want to get your reaction to that, and then Aaron, I want to tell you why I'm wrong about Damian Lillard.
Okay, we good? Okay, I'm just gonna go. So first of all, while it's still fresh, they totally need to rework how the voting works. Why are we only giving 25% of the power to the experts, the people that actually know what we're talking about? Yes, it's a fans game, and they want to market toward the fans, but when it comes down to determining who the best player is, the fans can't do that. Alex Caruso was in the top 10, and yes, he's a meme, Ernie Johnson's son, all that. He's getting better, but he's not an all-star player. Klay Thompson was up there too. Klay Thompson's a great player, don't get me wrong. He's a Hall of Famer. If he retired today, he'd go to the Hall of Fame, but he should not be on the all-star list. Why? Because he hasn't played this year, but people are still giving them the votes, and that takes away votes from other people that are actually contributing to their teams right now. And I don't think the fans should have the majority of the power. It should be the other way. The experts, I think, in my opinion, should get at least 50% because they're the ones that can actually see the stats, see how valuable these guys are to their teams, not the fans. Because there was a guy I saw on Twitter, I don't know, it was just some random fan account, and it was a joke. He essentially named the entire Bulls roster and said that they should be all-star players above people that are on the reserves. And we really give the power to those people who legitimately think that these guys don't get any minutes. I don't know. I'm just upset about that.
You're exactly right. It's people like Aaron that just want Luka over Damian.
I didn't put a name to it.
I should just leave. That's what I should do. I should just
Aaron,
go.
No. Aaron, we love you. But I do want to hear his thoughts. But after Asher goes, that was such a perfect, you're literally throwing shade at Aaron. I was just don't shoot the messenger. I just said what he said.
Yeah, I don't want to throw shade at anyone here. It's all love between the three of us, for sure. I don't want anyone to misconstrue that. But when it comes down to it, like even with the Melo thing, like he's just been playing in the league for so long, and it's the same thing for all sports with me. Like I'm always rooting for the guy who's been there, like Larry Fitzgerald in the NFL. I want him to get a ring because he's done everything for them. Like he's one of the best players to ever suit up in a Cardinals jersey, and he doesn't have any hardware to show for it. It's the same thing with Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, and then going back to the All-Star game. Damian Lillard, should he be a starter? In my opinion, yes. I'm not saying Luka and the rest of the starting five didn't deserve it, but just the things that Damian Lillard is doing and where Portland is right now compared to Dallas specifically, I think that should be enough to put him, because Dallas is struggling right now. If you look at the record, they're like they're a bottom half in the West, and the West is absolutely loaded. Don't get me wrong, and Luka will be an MVP and a champion someday. But as of today, like looking at all the stats, like putting it on paper, Damian Lillard should be an all-star starter. And yes, there are a lot of politics involved. Like Jamal Crawford went out and tweeted today, like he hate the politics involved in the All-Star game. And I just completely agree with him, because every year we talk about who's not a star. We talk about who's not there, I feel like, more often than we talk about who did make it. And that, I feel like there's something wrong with that. Like we're not necessarily celebrating the people that earned it as much as we're talking about.
Because people don't want to celebrate LeBron.
Yeah, I mean,
the same people that voted for Luka.
Exactly, but no. And to my point, in the East, I'm not as mad about, because Brown and Tatum, Celtics fan here, really glad to see Tatum and Brown performing really well, because Brown's averaging like 26, 6 and 4 right now, absolutely destroying people, and Tatum can get 30 on any given night. It seems they have had a couple losses, and I could totally talk for another hour and a half about why they should be better than 500 and how they gave up a 24-point lead to the Pelicans. I watched that game, got really upset. Also, shout out to Zion for getting a first All-Star appearance. But there's just a lot of people that were left out, just in both sides, and I think it just goes to show like how talented the NBA has become. Trae Young got some. Jimmy Butler is another guy. Like there's just a laundry list of names that you could make an argument for going to the All-Star game. Russell Westbrook, for all the triple doubles that he's put up with Washington. But again, it goes back to the losing record and how much should that play a role in determining whether you're an all-star starter or not. And we saw that with Luka. Dallas isn't in a good spot right now, but Luka is playing really good, and because of that, because the extra fan votes, and because of Luka, he got the all-star nod over the starter nod over Damian. I just don't like how it's messed up. Am I going to be the one to fix it? No. Do I know how to fix it? No. But the politics and the complaining about who got snubbed, I'm just not a fan of it. I wish something would change, and all of it points back to just how loaded the NBA is. Like from Seattle all the way over to Boston, or from, I guess, Sacramento, whatever's the furthest west city with an NBA team. But there's just so much talent in the NBA, and I wish there's a way to fit all of it into one game so we could recognize all the people. Like Julius Randle too. Holy cow, we would have not have thought a year ago Julius Randle becoming an all-star. But the things he's doing for New York is something special. That's my favorite selection. Also, I think he's most improved of the year. So that's my second soapbox of the night, if you will.
So Aaron, why am I wrong about Damian over Luka?
I just feel like Portland has more tools than just Damian Lillard, whereas the Mavericks are, they rely on Luka more than the Trailblazers rely on Damian. That's my only argument. But that's why I just honestly feel like Luka being the 6'9" guard or forward / guard, whatever you want to call him, I honestly think overall he would beat Damian in a 1v1 matchup, and that's why I think that he deserves a spot in the starters.
Okay. So a couple things here. First of all, Damian's team's been hurt all season. Second of all,
I said what I said. That's what I'm going with.
He said what he said.
All right. I can respect it. We can agree to disagree, but just for the record, I don't think one-on-one determines who should be a starter in the All-Star game.
That should be something that we should bring back or bring into
one-on-one tournament.
1v1s, like watching LeBron and Giannis or Jimmy Butler and Donovan Mitchell like go at it. That would be so fun.
That would be awesome.
Viewer ratings would go through the roof for that.
True, it would.
I cannot name a single person that would not like that.
They should make it a thing like the dunk contest and 3-point contest, where like they make a 1v1 thing. That'd be sick.
Like King of the Court.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
King of the course style, like where you just start on the ball, and then if you give it a shot, head off, and then the next person comes on and locks them down. Like, let's sign me up. There are so many great matchups that I would love to watch.
That would be so exciting. Real quick, gentlemen, we do have just a couple of minutes left, so let's shift now. Let's talk about the NFL and just a quick mock draft as to how we think it gets started. And it won't take long for us to get controversial. So first overall, Jacksonville. We all have Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Yes, I do.
I actually have Luka Doncic.
Get out of here.
See, I feel like Ash was reading off Aaron's board or something.
Hey, I saw an opportunity for a joke. Had to go for it, but no, I respect the Luka conversation. There's definitely an argument there, but yeah, Trevor Lawrence. I feel like that's an easy one.
And in 2 years, he will still be starting, and that'll be 60 more cases of Diet Dew, along with the 6 that I just won.
That was part of the bet.
No, there was no Super Bowl involved.
No Super Bowl. Okay.
He just has to be starting still. He just... Number 2 overall, the New York Jets. I say they go with Zach Wilson, and that's where things have been. That's where things have been trending.
Yeah, I agree.
They ditched Darnold.
I put a different bit. I have Penei Sewell going second. I just think the talent of him is too good because if Trevor Lawrence wasn't in this draft, I could see him going number 1 overall. Like, he's one of the best offensive linemen to ever play college ball. And there's definitely a lot of hype around him, and the Jets could definitely use some added boost to their line. I don't know if they go with Sam Darnold moving forward because we've talked about Darnold in the past too, like how we feel like he's kind of stuck in New York because he was really good in college and he hasn't really been able to fully blossom into a fully developed NFL player. But maybe what he needs is an extra offensive lineman that can help protect him. I could see Sewell going too. I think he would work good in that.
No, you're exactly right. I could see Sewell going there as well. But I have Sewell going 3rd to Miami.
I like that. Go protecting Tua could also be really good.
Who do you have at 3, Aaron?
So here's the thing. We talked last week about the roster rotisserie we had going on, right? And I potentially had Deshaun Watson ending up in Miami, which I think is a possibility. And with Deshaun Watson going to Miami, he needs a new go-to target. And that's where Devontae Smith comes in, the wide receiver from Alabama. Right? Thank you.
Yes. Number 3 pick, Devontae Smith.
I think Devontae Smith
they
deserves...
They wouldn't have to trade it for Watson.
Well, right, and that's the thing. This is all hypothetical because it's a mock draft, but if they somehow keep their third pick overall, and they end up with Deshaun Watson, Devontae Smith goes number 3. They have to. You have to. Yeah, you can't not.
Yeah. All right. Asher, who do you got 3rd?
Devontae Smith at 3. Yeah, he's Heisman winner, one of the best receivers to ever play. Like, he just torched everyone this season at Alabama, and he definitely deserved the Heisman. He's too good of a talent to not be a top 3 pick, and the Dolphins could definitely use another go-to guy, like Aaron said. I think he'd be a great pick. Like, even if Tua's their guy, they played together in Alabama, so they already have that chemistry there. So I feel like you can't lose Devontae Smith for Miami.
You guys bring up great points, and it might be the first time in a while we've seen a wide receiver go in the top 3
be
in the
awesome.
NFL draft.
Be so great.
How exciting would that be? All right, gentlemen, we have reached the end of the show today. However, I want to give you guys an opportunity to shout out where people can find you on social media. You can find me on YouTube and on Instagram at DJSQUABO. But before you do that, go show some love to my brother, Asher Lined. Asher, if you want to give me your handles.
You sounded a little hesitant on that last name there. But yeah, Asher Lined on everything. It's a pretty unique name. It should be easy to find. But yeah, thanks for the love, everyone. Go ahead to follow.
Sorry, I was so sussed out. I was looking at my dog like about to bark.
Hey, dogs do that.
And then Aaron, let's go to you. Where can people find you?
At Aaron Monson on Instagram and social, and like Twitter's at Aaron__Monson, and then TikTok, if you're feeling cool, is Aaron Monson as well.
And then Luka Doncic burner account too.
Thank you all so much for doing the show. Now Aaron can finally just drop the mic and leave. We love you guys. I'm your host, TJ Squavo. As always, this is your home for Seahawks and Cougar coverage on YouTube and on KUGR Radio, Unorthodox Sports.